So this is our next session of Delta Green, and our characters are on site. We'll come back to exactly what on site means as some things have changed, and we have a returning player, so we're going to do a little meta discussion here. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this session is part of the Gauntlet Gaming Calendar, which is an online gaming club / community. You can find out more about that at gauntlet-rpg.com. We are coming to the end of this particular cycle in a couple of ways. So we're going to take up, do not forget to take a refresh. If you haven't already done that, you can refresh either a pool or 3 points of a general. Now, the big thing is where we left off in game. We had Agent Rajavi heading out to have a private discussion in the woods with the leader of the band. Meanwhile, Dr. Evans was still in the hospital discussing with doctors about, what was going on with the patient, Nargula, who is currently under their care. They are taking good care of him. And then we have Agent Oliver, who has split off from them to head to the grow house and has an ID and has access to that. Those arrangements were already made. There was some question about Kresh's identity there at the end, the person that you're walking in the woods with. But we'll come back to that. But what we need to do to start is we need to figure out, Jim, do you have a sense of where you would like to be placed? Do we want to have a discussion about that? What are your thoughts? Let's start with you on this.
Well, there was a lot of meta discussion in the Slack channel. I wouldn't mind returning back to the woods. Kresh wasn't particularly hostile towards me. It is Kresh is the man in the woods, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep. But there was lots of talk that I was also needed to go and sanction the guy in the hospital.
There was some discussion about finishing off Petkovsky, finding him, locating him in the hospital, and doing that.
Now, clearly, if he's in a hospital, he probably won't be going anywhere. So that doesn't actually sound that time critical.
I think that's a way to read the situation.
That's my read of the situation. Does anybody want to throw in anything on that?
I read of the situation as well. Plus, I think Petkowski is just he's a middleman. When we didn't know about the whole cult and aliens conspiracy, we thought this is our main target. But now that we do, I think Kresh is more important. Also, Susan's well-being.
I think someone's getting some meta fear for their character now. They said yes to a walk in the woods.
Yeah, definitely.
I clearly worked out that Marcus didn't really require any help. He was just playing golf.
Well, yeah, I mean, Marcus, there are two ways to add some protection to Susan. I mean, Susan is currently playing Marcus's wife, and they are both at the clinic. Susan has said yes to a walk in the woods with, you call him a band leader, I call him a cult leader. And it would be possible for Marcus to come out of the ER and provide some, backup for Susan. I have a terrible feeling that Susan would prefer anyone else as physical backup other than Marcus, but that is possible.
I think the best way to it seems to be, given the discussion, that what we assume is that Jim is on scene, has been keeping in the background, kind of observing, doing surveillance on this, and we'll see Susan and Kresh get up and head outside and I think, Jim, that seems like a very bad idea to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a bad idea. So I will follow.
Okay. Well, we'll come back to that pairing here in just a minute. Let's start with Dr. Evans. You've had this conversation with the hospital staff. You seem to have ingratiated yourself well. They have your patient stabilized. You know, they talk to you about things. You have more ready access now. What do you want to do?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Because it strikes me, I would like to know whether Petkovsky is at the hospital in town. And so I think the way the conversation with the doctor goes is, well, you know, do you ever do any shifts at the hospital in town? You know, would that be part of the job if I were to make the jump?
I mean, absolutely. You know, from time to time.
Well, do you think I could get a look at it? You know, if it's part of the package, you know, it's great to be up here playing golf, but
I tell you what, let me get one of the head nurses to come and walk you around. How about that?
that would be great. That
Okay.
would be great.
All right. And he goes and will speak to one of the older head nurses, who will nod, like does ask some questions, and then you have the sense that he's you know, invokes somebody's name, and people are like, okay. And this nurse will Johansson, Nurse Johansson will come over, and she will say, Dr. Evans, using your code name. Can I show you the hospital? What would you like to see first?
I think we've had a misunderstanding.
Oh.
No, just let me step back a second. I want a tour of the town hospital, not the Ridge Clinic. Is that what we're talking about?
Oh, yeah. The nurse will go, oh, I think the doctor misunderstood. We don't really have anything to do with the town hospital.
I see.
I think he misunderstood, or maybe deliberately like assumed that wasn't what you were actually asking.
I see. Because I heard about it, and I thought it was part of the, you know, you do the occasional shift.
Some of the nurses staff here to help make ends meet do work there.
I see.
I could call someone I know down there if you really want to see. I don't see as that being necessary for you.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I just want to get a picture, you know, some sense of you know, the whole shebang in a healthcare kind of way. I mean, if you don't know what that end of the deal looks like, you don't know how to sell this end of the deal, do you?
She says, I think you have the sense that there's a connection between us, like between the two hospitals, the healthcare system. I would say we operate in very different circles.
Oh, I see. I just didn't. I didn't understand that. Yeah. Well, look, and I think at that point Marcus backs off, because he's just increasing the level of suspicion, and he goes for the tour.
Okay. And she will walk you around here.
And I suppose what I'm looking for is anything odd or out of place in a kind of medical sense. I think that would be logical for me to check on.
You are looking for a very particular thing. You have medical training. You're on alert for this. I don't think this is a spend. I think there are just the 4 floors to the hospital. And she takes you just briefly up to the 4th floor to show you the nursing station there. And then she says, and then the rest is private rooms up here. And then she goes to take you back down. And very clearly, like, there's actually security up here. There's actually a guard on this floor. And you can tell that just by looking at, like, this is the high end, patients get private rooms, a kind of suites kind of thing, but there's definitely security up here.
Yeah, and can I get a sense of what's the kind of demand? Is this clinic here for, I don't know, plastic surgery? Is it here for? Is there any? Does it have any kind of specialism or claim any specialism that would give me an excuse to look at any medical records?
I think they probably, they have cancer treatment centers here. They have a facioplasty surgeons on site. They do as well, laser corrective surgery for the eyes and stuff. They have a very high end, like if you would like a procedure, this place will make accommodation. She'll say, we had a patient who had a very specific injury to this particular muscle set, and so we got in a new set of equipment just to deal with their work. We are very, very good at catering to the needs of our patients and to the requirements of our physicians.
And that is what healthcare should be about. It should be about responsiveness.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Nurse Johansson. It's been a pleasure taking the tour. I can find my own way down.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah. All right. I don't, hospitals.
Fair enough. And she will leave you on your own. We'll come back to you. Agent Oliver, you have like a little access badge to work at the grow facility, and she's kind of giving you the briefing on going in and all of that. Is that what you're doing?
No one's rung me up to say that Petkovsky's in the hospital. Go get him.
Okay.
So yeah, I will go do that as just as a general bit of what's going on in this town, what's happening here, because we just so far know very little beyond the phenomena, which we've got from we don't know any of the intricacies of it.
The inside scoop. Let me ask you this. I mean, certainly you'll dress a little differently to go in. You go to maybe buy a little bit of a, something a little bit of a dress down, and again, outrageously expensive, and no pockets. So let me ask you this. Are you carrying any weapons in with you? She will have mentioned that they do check people pretty thoroughly when they go to leave to make sure that they haven't taken any pot or any goods. You didn't say anything about coming in, but they definitely have.
I would have asked about it for sure.
Yeah, so to get that, we pass through, we go past the security checkpoint.
Scanners?
Probably, she says. She gets. I mean, I've never been stopped or anything.
But you take your keys out your pockets. You take your metal detectors.
No, we just walk through the box.
The box.
Yeah, there's a turn box. You step in, and then it turns, and then the door on the other side opens.
Which could be a one of those airport scanner things, couldn't it?
It does sound like that.
Yeah. I'm not going to take anything in then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I would like you. What do you think the roll or spend is for maintaining a cover, going in? This isn't a place that you've been told verbally how to get to it. It is a place with some security. What do you think the appropriate check or spend is to get in without problem?
Disguise.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, when else am I going to use it?
Exactly. So let's have you make that disguise spend and roll. I need to pull up the roller.
Me too. Do-do-do. I will make I'll spend both my points in disguise here.
Okay.
Because it occurs to me that actually one of the really good ways of making a pool with some pushes would be in the interpersonal world and disguise to try and sell it.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'll keep that in
Okay.
reserve. Oh, there's no dice in my roll. I just tried to roll 2.
Okay.
That's a 6 total.
Yeah. So you will go in. There's with some of the other staff there. They employ quite a few people. It's a big multi-level indoor greenhouse operation. And you go through the scanner thing. It's very clearly, once you get there, it's very clear an airport scanner.
I'm like, thank God I didn't bring the box cutter that I was going to bring.
Yeah.
The taser.
Then you go in. There's a room where you have to strip down and get decontaminated, switch into work clothing, and then essentially, gloves, mask, the basics. And it's a big facility. Clearly, a lot of money spent here, kind of industrial scale. They've taken advantage of new legislation in other states. And what do you want to do?
Yeah, I would like to take a look at the grow operation. I want to get in to these plants, to these things. Like, is this just a money-making commercial aspect, or is there anything sinister in the terms of the crops and everything?
What do you have in your background skills that allow you to analyze a botanical operation like this?
I think what I have more is being a member of America's large law enforcement agencies, which are phenomenally obsessed with drug enforcement at various points, if only as excuses to get people for other things, more than anything else. I think we grow rooms and things like that, and the expanding world of black money and the wild west of green growing operations. So I was thinking more like criminology or something like that, maybe.
I think for a skill that is kind of off from what's here, it will be a 2-point spend.
Okay.
Okay, you willing to make that spend?
Willing to make that spend, yeah.
Okay. I think you walk around. They've got, sophisticated grow lights. They've got different sets here. I think the thing that will strike you is that the different rooms are the different marijuana batches, and one of them, you go in the first group and it's the Greenspan, and you go in the next one and it's Fountainhead, and there are names like that throughout. Objectivist. There's all of that.
She rolls her eyes so hard they nearly fire out of her head when she goes past Fountainhead. Like, yeah.
But the thing that would strike you is that they've got they're clearly drawing from deep well water supplies around here to do this. You guess they're probably using the better aquifer for the town to do this. You've tasted the water in town. It's bad. They're clearly doing that, but you can tell that they are adding additional liquids to the water supply. And you will finally kind of get to a place where you see where they've got the additional pumps, and you can see that they've got some some containers of whatever this additional liquid is that is being added to the spray there.
So there is mysterious substances being added to the spray for the plants, essentially.
Yeah. Now, you're a little familiar with this kind of thing, I believe. I believe that some of the Chicago incidents had some people who were operating in this way. And your first inclination is this the same thing? And you go and check it, and it is not. It doesn't look like the same liquid. It doesn't look like the same process here.
Okay, it's a known. I'll nudge one of the other workers, like one of the other shift workers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Hey man, you know what that stuff is?
They told us not to touch it. It's apparently really toxic.
Oh yeah. But if it's really toxic, how do they put it on the weed?
I think it like kills bugs or fungus or something. Like it's a fungicidal.
Huh. Cool, man. Cool. Who's in charge around here?
And he'll point to a guy with a clipboard. Yeah, he's the one who takes the empties away and puts the new stuff on.
Okay. Yeah. Jean is going to try and work out how she can gain some sort of sample of this and exit the grow room, or whether there's a area to break into to get more stuff, because at the moment, I guess all she really has identified is that there are substances that are not part of the normal grow thing. And the growth of these plants, do they look normal themselves? I mean,
Yeah, they look normal to you.
yeah. And am I harvesting them as a worker?
You're going around, you're checking the readings on the plants, and then stuff that is ready to go, they're harvesting very, very carefully.
Okay. And it all seems
Above board. Does this feel like a filch?
I think it probably is a filch to try and I think ideally what I'd like to do is to filch though a source of like a sample of the liquid itself.
Okay.
As well as a little bit of the weed, like the tiniest bit of the weed.
So let's have you roll filch.
I think a tiny little nugget of weed is probably extremely easy to steal, but like a bit of the liquid is going to involve me being like dipping something in, putting it in a baggie, and then taking it out. Okay. Filch. Well, I have a whole 2 in filch, which I will spend both of those in as well.
Okay.
That's another 6.
That is another 6. You will go over, and what it is essentially, as this guy is taking one of these things off, you can do a pass through and get a little sample of it, and you do it. And I mean, you get a hold of it, and like, you are absolutely amazingly skilled at this. You will realize as you're doing it just how good you are, just how absolutely awesome and amazing and important you are. You're just so important. You are the most important person in the world. And you realize that doing this, everything that you do is right. You have no guilt for doing this, none whatsoever. Just, you are absolutely certain of your choices as you do this.
Interesting.
I'm going to cut away from you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
So, Susan, Rick is going to say, let's to walk you out into the woods there. He'll kind of walk you out from the hospital and say, this trail that kind of runs up here. We'll go up that stone path there, up the hill, and we'll walk in the backyards. And then we can go into the woods and I'll show you some stuff.
Well, I'm really looking forward to it.
So what got you interested in all of this?
So Susan at this point is definitely nervous and not trying to show it, obviously. And she says, it's the, I don't know, the love for the land. I mean, as you can see, my my heritage is not American. But I wanted to, you know, get to know the country, and I traveled a lot. And the more I, you know, I've been in nature, the more I fell in love with the land itself.
The land itself is wondrous. There are all kinds of things. And here in the Appalachians, there's all kinds of things to see. By the way, could everybody please lose a point of will? And he's walking you up. Jim, how do you want to play this?
Pretty straightforward, not monkeying around. Basically, as soon as they sort of leave the path and are just literally as soon as they go out of eyesight range, I'm going to start belting up there, shouting out, Susan, Susan, Marcus has had a peanut allergy. He's gone into anaphylactic shock. And basically charge in and do a mighty kung fu kick on him.
So we're just up at the top of the hill. He's kind of going to the edge of the woods. You're talking. You'll hear that shouting. Kresh will stop, look back. He sees Williams running. What do you say to Williams as he comes running up with this news about the peanut allergy?
This is terrible. What can we do? Trying to, you know, the best actress. She's not the best actress, but trying to, you know, play along.
And you are, I mean, he's standing there. You know, he's seen you before. He knows you, Jim. So he's kind of standing there waiting, and he does look concerned. And you're going to run up and flying kick him?
Yes.
Okay. Let us have you make that roll.
I will spend 3 points from my first, it says first punch, but
yeah,
you know, let's wax lyrical with that.
Sure. So that's a 7. Am I right? Okay.
Indeed.
You don't know how you missed, but you go sailing past him and smash into a tree. And Kresh has kind of stepped back. Susan, can I have you make a stability check?
By the way, my will is 1 at the moment.
Oh, is it?
It is. I'm not feeling good at the moment. Stability test.
Difficulty 2 stability test.
I will spend 1.
Okay.
Does that make sense with the stability 2? I mean, I can always roll it. What if I roll a 2? Then I'm
Then you've just spent the 1. You're fine. If you spend 1 point, you're going to be spending 1 point.
I'm not spending a point, just rolling naked.
Okay, rolling flat.
Let's see. What can go wrong? It is a 1, obviously.
Okay. So you're going to lose 3 points of stability.
That takes me to 0.
Okay. You swear, as Jim came past, that Kresh stepped to the side a little, but you swear that Jim went through him, passed through him before he hit that tree. And Kresh goes, what, Jim? Kind of takes a step back away from you, Susan. What do you do, Susan? Jim hits that tree, but he's rolling it up on his feet because he is no slouch.
What does 0 stability mean at the moment?
Let's take a look at losing stability. When
Is it
your
5?
stability ranges from 0 to -5, you are shaken. You can still do your job, but you seem distracted. You can't spend pushes for investigative abilities, and your difficulty numbers for all general ability tests increase by +1.
I mean, we need to take him down. Susan will draw her gun shakily. And she will say, get down on your knees.
And he turns to you and he says, opens his mouth, and a voice from inside his mouth says, you don't want to do that. Would you please make a will test?
Edward, how a will test? I mean, I have 1 in will. No, yeah, I have 1 in will.
You
Can I
can
spend it?
You can spend that, but you've then tapped out your resources to resist his domination and control.
I mean, if I fail this is bad. I will tap on my resources then. Spend 1.
Okay.
Roll the d6. And that
Look
is
at
a 7.
that, except it's 1 less because you rolled 2d6, didn't you?
No, did I again?
Yeah. So I'm going to need you to re-roll that.
Oh, I was so happy.
Is there any way that can you use the pushes to create a pool?
Yes, he could normally,
because he's
but he's
shaken.
at 0
'cause
stability.
right, so you can't even do that. Okay,
Yeah.
can't spend at all.
Right.
Okay, let's go. This is the real one. Oh, that doesn't look too good.
And your heart is beating, and you kind of step back, and I think you drop your gun, and just that fight or flight, just suddenly like everything wells up and you're panicked. Jim, you see he turns, Susan draws the gun out at him, but then she kind of freaks and drops her gun. What do you do, Jim?
I will turn to. I'm going to turn to him and say, "That's the last time you're ever going to drop a peanut in my friend's coffee, motherfucker," and go and hit him again.
Okay. This time he stands there, doesn't move. Go ahead and roll melee.
If Google Sheets was going to behave, it's not behaving very well. I'm going to spend 3 points from general unarmed combat.
Okay.
Let's get rid of that second d6. Sorry, my computer's not behaving. Oh my god, I've got 3d6. Do you want a bit of time, Lol? That's it. Let's find a different browser.
So much for the do not call list.
Okay, I am having trouble. Oh my god! Please set a name has appeared about 50 times on the page.
Crash is
here we go.
affecting you as well.
It is. All Jim. That's me. 1d6. Here we go. Oh, that's not good. 4.
and you will hit him and you connect, and you're going to take 3 health damage. As
Can
it's
I use athletics?
no, this is your punch. You hit him hard, and you can feel the bones in your hand kind of crack a little when you impact into him.
Okay. I think
Um,
physical violence is not working very well against this fucker.
Yeah. He says, kind of takes another step back. He says, "Are you going to swing again?"
No, I'm going to shoot you, fucker.
All right. So let's see what happens now. Jim, this is going to be a contest of athletics here.
Okay.
So I will roll my. Oops, that's only a 6 for me.
Okay. Is it something that I can spend on?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can spend athletics on this.
Let's spend 3, I think.
Okay.
I've been pretty consistent on 3 all night, so it would be wrong for me to see your roll and then go from that. Let me just dice roller, where are you? Now that's better.
So
9.
that is a 9. So you will get a shot at him before he acts.
Okay.
You may now make your shoot roll.
As I actually haven't got, I'm having to write down everything I spend so I can update it in a bit.
Okay.
Athletics. How much do I have in shoot?
In
Anybody can see?
Do you want? You've got 4 in that. Do you want me to keep? Do you want to make me to update this as you go?
Yeah. Could you take 3 off unarmed combat and 3 off athletics, please?
Yeah.
And 2 off shoot. So here we go, Lowell.
Okay.
My shot. No, 3.
You will miss. And then I need you to make a stability 3 difficulty test.
Okay. I think I've got quite a bit of stability.
You only have 3 left.
Okay.
So define a lot.
Let's spend 2 from that.
Oh no, sorry, I take that back. I read the wrong one. You have 10.
Okay. I thought that had gone down rather quickly.
No, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
6.
Okay. So you will just take that 2 points that you spent as he vanishes into the ground.
Oh,
Just, and then he's gone into the ground itself.
I will spit on his grave. And then go and help Susan, who is clearly distraught.
Damn right.
Grab her. Do you have any psychotherapy, Jim?
I don't know. The doctor will tell me. Do I have psychotherapy?
the doctor, he says, yes, you have 2.
Okay, I'm willing to spend all that with a good, get yourself together, woman.
Okay. I think in this situation, given that the foe has been removed from the scene, and like evidence of it has gone, and you're there, I think that we'll do a spend 3, and Susan can get back 2.
Do I have to
I've only got 2.
Oh, you want to get 2 in psychotherapy?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've just reduced
I'll be generous and say 1 for 1. Then we'll just restore 2 on Susan. You don't have to spend anything. You just take your stability back up to 2, because you were just at the edge of this. What do you do, Susan?
So do you slap Susan?
No, I'll just vigorously shake you. Vigorously shake you.
And I think she will just grab you and embrace you and start sobbing. He's not human.
He's not, but he has gone for the time being. I think we need to get out of here, Susan. You know, this is terrible. Yeah, that man, we need a flamethrower. Let's get out of there. Let's get back to the doctor, because, you know, I don't know what havoc if he reappears here. I can't keep him off you forever.
Look, Jim, I think I have one punch in me. We either finish this or I need to get out of the city. You know, I can't anymore.
Can we quickly analyze the area, Lowell, that he's sunken into? Tell me if there's any sort of skill invested. Is it a sort of notice, maybe? Is there anything odd about it? The area that he's disappeared into, either on a large macro or a micro scale?
The spot where he vanished into the ground is warm to the touch.
But there's no sort of physical sort of ring.
There's no ring. There's no disturbance to the soil. It's about as warm as the mound was to your touch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was at the mound previously. I don't think we can dig him up, Susan. I don't think he's here. I mean,
I know we read about these aliens or whatever they were that could, you know, emerge from the earth. Do you remember something in these papers?
Yeah, from down south, I think. But, you know, we're humans. We stand on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're pretty open. You know, let's hope he can't come up through concrete, say. Yeah, I can't think of any, unless we've got some explosives and we blow the mound. That's what I'm thinking.
We need to regroup and then strike as a team.
Let's talk about the team for a moment. Return back to Dr. Evans.
Well, of course, not knowing that any of this has gone on.
Mm-hmm. And worried about communications, you know that there's some issues.
And yeah, I mean, I have no reason. I don't even know Susan has left the building.
Right.
So I think I will proceed with what I thought to do, which was they gave me credentials, didn't they? So
Yeah.
I could treat here. So I think I'm going to try my luck on one of the private rooms.
Okay. I think that to get past is going to require a little bit of maneuvering. I think disguise, I think stealth, or, you know, creating a pool, or just making a spend from an interpersonal.
I'm looking at either a spend from medicine and I pull the baffle with bullshit card. Or yeah, I think I'm going to go with that, because I don't think, oh no, that would knock out fringe and occult later, and I have a suspicion that's the territory we're now in. I think I probably I'm going to spend. I'd like to spend.
I will also say bureaucracy.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'll spend 3 from bureaucracy and just pick up a clipboard, a chart at the nurses' station, and just breeze past security.
Go ahead and make a roll.
I will spend 3 from bureaucracy and roll 1d6.
Get that.
That gets to 6.
You will sail by the security, by the nurses. You kind of move through, kind of move along here. They saw you with the head nurse before. Nobody thinks anything of it. You will move and check the rooms. Some of them very, very nice, very, very high end, big screen TVs, the highest end medical beds, that kind of thing. Some people recovering clearly from plastic surgery. And then you'll come to a room.
When you say recovering from, oh no, go on.
Oh,
And
no,
I
no.
just wanted plastic surgery.
Oh yeah, they have the things over their face from plastic surgery.
I'm just curious about the names on the chart.
Yeah, you'll get some names there.
I just want to check that Petkovsky is not one of these people having surgery on their faces.
No,
I can't think why, but I just feel obliged to check.
Sure. But you get some names. Move past these people whose faces you can't really see in these different beds. And eventually you will come to a room and you go inside and you will see hooked up to an IV, compression hookup on the leg. You will see Petkovsky is there, asleep, in his gown in the bed there.
I wanted to find him, but I didn't want to find him because now I have to do something about it.
Yeah, let's take our break here.
Yes.
Give you 10, and then we'll come back.
Yeah, give me 10 minutes with my moral conscience.
Fair enough. Dr. Evans.
I think it is that wrestling, really. It is, there's somebody's left a syringe. They shouldn't have, but somebody's left a syringe, or beside the bed. It would be so easy just to put a bubble in the IV. And I think we flash back to that early conversation in those wintry woods in Michigan about, are you up to this, doctor? And then the kind of conversation that Jim has had with him and Susan has had with him as well. And I think also there's the dreams he's been having. And I think, stop me if this steps on anything, Lowell, but I think it would be really interesting if in this kind of montage of flashback, it is into one of those dreams. And maybe one of them, suddenly he gets a resolution of that is something like, as this figure moves towards him, there's just a voice in his ear that says, do it. Just do it. He deserves it. You're the good person. But I think I need to make some kind of roll.
Yeah.
Either before or after.
Does this feel like a will roll?
I think it feels like something significant. Yeah.
Let's have you make a will roll.
I will spend 2 of my remaining 4.
Okay.
And that's just a 3.
What's the worst choice for you right now, Alan? Like the one you don't want to do.
The one that Marcus Evans doesn't want to do is he doesn't want to put the bubble in the tube.
And I think there is that bit where there's that hesitation and you will feel this suddenly, this grip and something in your ear, and you hear these words say, listen. And there is this cascade of noise as something wriggles into your ear and you start staggering back there. And I think it's like the worst tinnitus there. You kind of stagger back, fall against, like knock over a tray, and you will see Rick Crash standing there. And you know what he's put in you.
I do. Because I have one in a freezer in Atlanta.
Let's come back. Yes. Let's cut back to Agent Oliver.
I feel great. I
Yeah,
mean, I've just
you're 100%. You're on it.
um you know, they don't know that I'm here. They don't know anything. No one knows anything. No one knows who I am. No one knows any of these things, these idiots. What's this group that I'm with? I could do this by myself.
Yeah.
Uh,
You want to take this grow house out? No problem. You could just, I
yeah,
mean, there's some flammable stuff around here. You could set it on fire.
there
Most
is
of these
some
people would
flammable
get
stuff
out. The
around
people who
here.
deserve to get out would get out.
Yeah, the workers would deserve to get out. Who deserve to get out? They would, wouldn't they? Or that's not what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking like, if you got out, you must have deserved to get out, right?
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Need to
Survival.
shift my head over into that frame of thinking. Yeah. I mean, yeah, how tempting, how easily.
I think you will realize, like as you're having that feeling, I think that you've just gotten enough of a kind of a whiff that you will realize that this is not what you like. This is not a normal passage of thought for you.
I think maybe I see like one of the workers like with like a brace around his leg or something, you know, and he's like, the people who deserve to get out will get out, and like that guy clearly won't get out, and
Right.
like, does he deserve it? And then like the part of Gene's head that's like, when did you start thinking about things in terms of, you know, that kind of who deserves it and who doesn't deserve it? Yeah.
You're not supposed to be in this area while I'm making the change out. You should need to leave.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. No problem. I'll leave. Look back over my shoulder at everything, and then like that vial burning a hole in my pocket. Be like in the probably like the lining of my thing where I've got it like inside, you know. Which is probably, I have just realized, is going to be a conceal roll, isn't it, as we leave through the thing.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's a good job I have all these skills that haven't come in handy for anything else. I have a warning conceal.
Okay. This is not hard to hide.
Okay. I really don't want to get caught with it, and after everybody's fuck ups so far. I definitely want to succeed on this. So would it be possible to
Make a pool? What?
Yeah,
Out of
using
what?
my interpersonal, maybe my human to read the people searching me and to sort of
Absolutely.
get
I
an eye
like
on
that.
stuff.
That
Yeah.
seems perfect.
I mean, I'll be honest, there are all of the interpersonal skills seem perfect for making pools for disguise and conceal as
Yeah.
well, you know.
Yeah.
And given that pool only live for, I assume, this check, really, I will spend all 3 of them on that. And
Let's have you do that.
I felt a bit like the Night's Black Agent style of like making pools every 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
well,
at that
that's a
point
9.
where you guys are running on some fumes here.
So I got some 9. You know, Gene reads these guys, completely leans into it, knows what it's like doing the checks all day, how monotonous it gets. Like, you know, can go straight for the guy who's clearly more bored in the queue, flashes like her eyes, and, you know, looks just cute enough to get him to be, you know, more interested in her than the search.
This is a really good role. What would you like as a benefit here? Just in the general scene, doesn't necessarily have to be exactly related to this, but you're going to get a Benny.
A Benny. I think as a Benny, it would be some intel or opportunity in terms of what I can do.
I'll give you. You will see a truck pull up, like a van, and you see they are unloading some of the material, these containers with the stuff, and I think that you will recognize this is one of the vans that was parked outside the prison.
Okay. And the prison's where they're doing the Amazon thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like half.
And then there's another part that,
Mm.
but I think the other thing is when you kind of like, we get that stop where you take this thing out and look at it, and it's like a thick, viscous golden liquid. And I think you will remember the doctor saying something briefly about that little mouth how it just weeped a single like golden tear.
Yeah, revolted. The vans come from the prison. They go back to the prison,
Yeah.
right? I'm gonna try and I'm going to take a notice of that, and I am going to be thinking about how we can hijack one of those vans in the bits in between here and there.
Do you want to put a tracker on the van?
Like
a little Apple tracker or something? Do you have one of those with preparedness?
With my remaining point of FBI pool for preparedness, I could spend that, couldn't I? Yeah, why not? You know, yeah.
Very low difficulty.
Yeah, very low difficulty. I'll spend
say,
one
say
point.
3.
I'll spend 1 point on my preparedness and my remaining pool to get me a +2. That's a 7.
Yeah, you've got a set of these, and you can easily. I won't have you make a roll for placement. I think you can easily drop it like in a gap in the back tail of this thing.
Cool. That what I mainly want to know with that is the route, the specific route that they take.
Absolutely, you can get that.
I assume I've got to take the bus back with the rest of the workers to get to town. And
well, no, actually, this grow facility is like between the rich part of town and the poor part of town, so you could walk either direction from here.
I walk to the place where I stashed my weapons and other gear away from sight, and I get ready and I pull out my phone and I open our secure messaging app.
Okay.
And I wait to see what the hell the others have got up to.
Jim and Susan, let's come back to you.
Susan, I propose that we walk out of here quickly to the car. We get some explosives and some shovels out of the boot. We go to that mound and we blow the fuck up. Sounds good?
Yes, that sounds good.
Okay, and I'll help Susan and arm round her as we walk down with a reasonable amount of speed down the hill to the vehicles.
So there's one car. It's Susan's. So I think, given the way the fiction has been established, that it's a big preparedness ask to have significant explosions, but it is within the realm of possibility. They'd be concealed away, have to tear out certain back parts of the car, that kind of thing. But let's say you make a preparedness roll there.
Yeah, I would like to use military science. Basically, I would have called in some favors beforehand. So that would give me a pool of 3, which I would like to use with one of my own preparedness.
Okay.
Give me +4.
All right.
On that. And as you say, it's plastic. It's pretty easy to mold into like body panel things and jab it in there. Here we go. Roll with bloody lost connection again.
I mean, I have 3 preparedness as well. I don't know if
I'll spend this. Don't worry about it, Susan. It's the least I could do.
Just relax. Look out the window at the pretty trees, Susan.
D6 rolling now. +4. 10.
So a 10. So you've got a chunk of C4, enough to take out a small building, to blow a bunch of tree stumps, away, to rock the ground. Not enough to destroy like a fortified building or a big place, but certainly enough
to breach. Would it be enough to breach a hardened, like make an entrance way in one?
Yeah, I think you could easily shape this and have enough to breach. For example, if you wanted to breach the walls of the prison, you could probably use this to do that. So yeah, you go back down. You two are in the parking lot of the hospital, and you will kind of get a query text from Agent Oliver, like the like question mark.
I'm prepared to reply saying,
And from this point on, we're going to assume communication is encrypted. So feel free to say what you want to say.
Yeah, I'm going to say
Ring me.
Crash is
We can talk on the phone, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Crash is some kind of freaking alien possessed supernatural motherfucker.
Fuck. You shoot him?
Yeah, I did.
And he fucking shit.
He disappeared in the ground and he's fucked with Susan's head.
Fuck. Listen, whatever they got in the grow in the prison, it's the same that the Sons of Megiddo, the fluid. It's the fluid. It's, I don't know.
Oh yeah, Crash had some sort of like thing on his neck.
Fuck.
But we've got some explosives. We were going to go to the mound and blow it up.
But wait,
Well, we're fucking blown now.
if it's the liquid, maybe whatever secreting that liquid is in the prison tower, the one that has no, no doors and shit.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to move. If Crash, if you're made with Crash, then we're made in this whole fucking town. Like,
We need to
Yeah,
leave the hospital as soon as possible. Get Dr. Evans as well, and then move to the prison tower. I don't think that blowing up the mount will do anything, to be honest.
I can get us. I know, and she checks her gun and she looks at that tracker thing and she looks out at the forest and she goes, I think I can get us a way into the prison close enough to make that explosive work. What it needs to do. Get the dock and let's get the fuck. Let's hit that prison. Whatever's in
Let's
that,
get
the mound. We are no fucking
Yeah.
clue what the mound is.
Let's get the doc to us on the messaging app. Doc, come to the car.
You will not get a reply.
Shit. Compromised.
Leave him.
Phone Gene and say he's not replying.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Leave
Quick.
him. Yeah, and Gene is going to go try and hijack one of those vans,
Okay.
and I figure we'll use that as a way to get to the prison close enough with maybe we can make like a car bomb type thing if we want to, right? Like drive it at whatever's there and blow our way in. I just think that driving our normal car up there is going to get us pretty fucked pretty quickly.
But I assume that Susan and Jim are getting in the car that they do have
Mhm.
that is known in the area and
Mhm.
driving away from there to somewhere else and leaving
Yeah.
Dr. Marcus behind, right?
Yeah, but I am going to say to Susan, me and the doc do go back some. This is a pretty fucking shitty thing, Susan. We need to go back and get him.
Now?
Well, as soon as this is done, we've got to find out what's happened to him. I don't want him just being some unknown name on some
Yeah, because
file
you're
that
about to
government-
drive away and leave him somewhere in the hospital. You're not sure this person that that you have a strong bond with. You're
that ain't
about
sitting well
to
with me.
walk out. Are you going to do that, or do I give you the stability check?
I'm going to say to Susan, we need to go in and get him, Susan.
Now? Are you crazy? Crash
He's not
knows.
replied.
After
He's not
your
all that's happened is he's not replied to a message.
Susan is in the driving seat and she says, you're either going with me and we are, finishing this, or I leave you behind. That's the two options. There's no we going to get the doctor.
I think you owe me a little bit of time here, Susan. Okay, he's failed to answer a messaging role. Just give me a second. Let me phone him. Phone him.
Alan, would you please make a health check for me?
Of course. Shall I spend 3?
Okay.
That becomes a whole 4.
Alan, kind of come to and kind of pull yourself up to your feet. and you will see you're in a hospital room, and you will see the blood that is still pouring out of this dead man's throat.
Oh,
There, you see that you have blood on you, and you can see someone has cut his throat and just left him here to bleed out. Did you do that?
forensics. Did I do it?
Make a 1 point spend.
Spent.
No, you definitely did not do this.
Okay, but it
But you
will
were
look to
clearly
anybody else.
you were clearly unconscious for a bit, and you don't remember what happened.
And the phone goes. And I
Ring,
see-
ring. You got a couple of texts there.
Yes. Where are you? What's happened?
Stop bumbling around, Marcus. We're outside in the car. We've got to move quickly.
Okay. Grab a gown.
Are you in a good position to talk? Are other people overhearing?
No, I'll be out in a moment. Cut the connection. Grab a gown.
Mm-hmm.
Put it over the bloody clothes.
Okay.
And then wet the gown with some of the blood, and rush to the door and shout, "He's bleeding out!" and hit the emergency call.
Okay. And then I assume
And then drift into the background.
shift into the background. What do you think is the appropriate test for not getting called out on this?
It has to be something like stealth, doesn't it?
It does.
Or similar. Yeah, I think it is. It's stealth, in which I have all of 1. So I will spend that.
Spend that point.
That is a 6 altogether.
Keep yourself together. You move along back hallways, drop out, pulling off what you can of the bloodied clothing and moving down to there. And I think out there we see Susan getting increasingly antsy, like getting
the
ready
side
to
of the building, because I went out the back way.
Absolutely. And you'll see Dr. Evans coming, and he is coming and running for the car.
In a white coat.
He's in a white coat and there's blood on him.
Before he enters, Susan will say, "If I am in Marcus' position, leave me behind. Or better even, give me the bullet."
And
Drive.
Bundle him in the back.
Somebody killed Petkovsky.
Drive, Susan.
drives away.
Mm-hmm.
And I will explain about Kresh to Marcus at this stage, saying that clearly he's...
Oh, yeah. You left Noragula in there unattended too.
I did.
Would you please make a 1 point stability spend?
Oh, yes, I will. Happily, stability is up there in the stars.
Let's cut wipe to the 4 of you together in, like, we'll assume that Noragula told you a couple of other places that you could potentially crash if you needed to. These are, again, just these like row houses kind of places, but you've got a van, Agent Oliver. You've got Susan's car, which you know has been made, and you probably want to ditch it ASAP. And you've got a load of explosives. And you've got a blood-covered Marcus Evans. What is this brief meetup conversation like? Like, when the 4 of you get together, you have some time to catch your breath and like brief each other on the basics. And then what's the plan?
I found Petkovsky, and then I must have blacked out, and I woke up covered in blood. Somebody cut his throat. It wasn't me. I know it wasn't me.
Didn't see anyone?
No. I'm assuming I have no recollection.
That's correct.
Yeah.
As a player, I was wondering whether you were just lying about it.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
yeah.
Susan will assume that he just did it.
Gene, I don't think gives a shit one way or the other. He's dead. That's
That may
problem
be the
solved.
coldest thing is you say you didn't do it, and it's very clear that none of them care.
So well, you think I did it?
He's dead.
They think you did it. They think you did it, Marcus. I know you better, and I only think you may have done it.
It was the right thing to do.
Listen.
Evans.
Listen, they've made us, okay? Whatever they're doing is in the prison. It's this shit. And I pull out the vial. This is what that mouth you said made, right?
Do you have any ways to check what it is?
In the back of a van in the middle of the.
I was going to say, I think that would be some kind of preparedness roll.
Luckily, I have this litmus paper. Oh, look, it's acidic.
Yeah.
Oh, talking about preparedness, I want, I don't know, automatic guns or something. What does 3 preparedness give me?
I think so. You would like, do you want like a submachine gun, or are you thinking an assault rifle?
I think an assault rifle would do me nicely.
Okay, let's have you roll.
We'll spend the 3 preparedness.
I think for an assault rifle, which we kind of haven't established before, but I think the difficulty of 4.
Difficulty of 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably something that we grabbed from like a green box somewhere, like stashed from previous agents.
Mhm. It's certainly broken down into pieces, and you have to reassemble it.
Okay. 3. Let's go. No, that would be 2d6 again. Stupid. Ooh, it is a 4. Holy shit.
So you spent your points. Yeah, you have to assemble essentially an assault rifle here, a couple of rounds, a couple of magazines of ammunition. Get that set up, assembled. Yeah.
We're going in.
Look, the van will get us close. Jim, you brought that plastique. We get in close. We blow it if we need to blow it, or we use it to take out whatever's there if we can.
So the van's going to get us through the perimeter.
Yeah, or at least
Won't
close
get you
enough.
through the perimeter. It's a delivery van. It was delivering outside.
But it will get us to the perimeter, right?
Yeah, we'll get you
And
up
then
to
we
the
can use
prison
it.
walls.
It get us to the prison walls, and then we blow using the van, I think.
Well, we don't know. When we are in the compound, like in the facility itself, then the tower, I think, has no entrances. The back building.
So there are 2 buildings. There's a front building where they're doing the general operations, and that things come and clearly unload there on the outside or taken inside. You've been told that there is an underground tunnel that runs to the back building that has no external walls, no external windows or doors. And there's a yard in between, but that's also walled in yard.
So we either find the tunnel or we blow a hole into the building.
So we can't get close to the back building though from the exterior.
Yes, you can.
No, we
Yeah.
can.
Yeah,
So we
it's just
could-
blank walls.
So we
There's
just
just no
drive
doors or
around.
windows.
So if we went round to the back with the explosives, we could potentially put it against the wall there, right?
The breach.
Because we have no idea where the underground tunnel is from within the
Or the
facility.
other option is we find the underground tunnel, go in, and probably use the explosives internally inside the building.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
sounds pretty cool. We could get into the van to the edge of the thing, right? And then come in via like the way that everybody else does, but then we have to work our way through the prison complex to find an underground tunnel to get in below.
Breaching is easier, but then we have to deal with what's on the inside.
We're gonna have to deal with that. So, it's just one of them's louder later and one of them's louder sooner. One of them involves more difficulties en route. The other one immediately jumps us up to a higher difficulty immediately. I just don't see in other games, I might like call upon the sick hacker to find out what's inside, you know, the layout of the prison complex, but I don't know how to do it in this. I don't think there is a way. So I think it's my vote's for breach, I think, even though I'm not happy with the plan.
Okay,
think-
Susan.
Yeah,
the idea
my-
of us making our way through this, what amounts to a factory, stripping down leftover stuff, presumably with some degree of security in it. So we're going to have to either shoot our way into that with lots of innocent civilians, or con our way in. And I just don't think we've got the spends for that.
So what
Yeah.
I'm hearing, if I may, you've assessed that going in involves contacts with lots of potential hostiles. Obviously, you don't know the layout. You don't know what the tunnel is like. That's another like kill zone for you potentially. But so the option is to go below the back wall of the back building that you know that things are going on in there, which is loud. It does let you in. There's also a little bit, you know, there is some visual security around in the area, cameras and things like that. But you probably can do that. It cuts a lot of time, but it puts you right in the fire, and I think that's reasonable. Is there anything?
Anybody against it? That's the plan then, Lol.
Okay. Anyone doing anything else preparedness wise, or before you go in, operation wise?
I've got a gun, I've got a vest. I got another vest for, I don't know who I gave that to last time. I think it was maybe Susan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've got explosives. Susan's got an assault rifle.
I've got 5 syringes of powerful sedative.
A taser. We need guns for everybody.
What am I going to do with a gun?
You've done well with a gun before, Doctor.
I've got the fist of fun.
I think having pistols, you already did the spend on some stuff. So I think having standard pistols, if you want to have that, I don't think that's a preparedness spend. I just want to make sure if there's anything else that you want to definitely have and make that roll here while it's still a little quiet.
I need to warn DG about that the substances made here are contaminated. You know, unnaturally so. It's
Okay.
a potential vector that could, because it's the weed's being consumed elsewhere, one presumes, right? Because it's a grow operation. So who the hell knows what that's going to do? So I need to send a message to Jefferson saying like something about the grow, you know, like the weed. It's in the weed, it's in the smoke. Like,
Let's go for 3 points, Lol. Preparedness,
Okay.
flamethrower.
finally.
Let's have you make that roll.
Let's not dilly-dally around here.
Fair enough.
Probably not, though. 4.
I think that you have enough military science knowledge that you can put together a thing that is homemade that will fire off
Single
a
shot?
jet of gas, that kind of thing. In fact, I think we can establish that that's probably a good deal of what you were doing last time when you weren't around, is getting the parts, sourcing those, and getting ready to build this. It is extremely dangerous, just to make that clear.
Okay.
I've listened to Delta Green games where they have made the improvised flamethrower and they have crit fumbled twice in a row and blown up the entire cell in the back of a van. Well, the terrorist just went. Oh.
Okay, let's put this plastic to work.
So this is 2 rolls here. One is the drive roll to try and reduce the clock on them spotting you and getting moving on things. You want to better drive where you're able to keep out of camera range, get yourself in a position without being spotted. And then the second part is a demolitions check for setting this bomb to see how well that you do this. Does that seem fair? Okay.
It does. We've
Who-
still only got 2 points of demolitions between
Who
us. all.
wants to make who wants to make the drive roll?
Gene.
Mhm. I got 6 points in drive.
Hey, look at you.
I will spend 4 of them.
Okay.
I
Let's
assume I don't know how difficult this is.
correct.
So
This is also something of a degree of success result here. So a
7.
7. So you will roll up, keeping right. You know, you kind of surveyed the place before. You have a sense of where the cameras are. You did that drone, kind of come up along the access road, and then take the far edge of the parking lot. You know, you hit those bumps and things, and kind of take it around the corner. They don't think the van's known here, so probably there's a little bit of what the hell is he doing kind of thing. But then you go past and, you know, take that sharp turn and come around to the back part of this, where the parking lot is relatively unfinished. You know, it's that kind of broken up area. And you're kind of hitting that. Super dangerous. And we'll bring this up to, you're just guessing this midpoint of the back wall, right? You just that, like, you don't know. You don't have any information. And then you for roll out, and someone's going to trigger the bomb, right? Who's triggering the bomb?
Is it possible to share in the sense of, can Gene have put it together so that Jim's trigger will work? Can they both make a spend, or is that not the way this could work?
So you have to use the same skill, but you can assist, and you spend 1 point to help them. That just goes away, and then points that you spend afterwards will assist.
Yeah,
We've only got one each.
If that's not going anywhere. Okay.
But I do have military science.
Absolutely.
So remembering my training from when I was in the forces, I would like to create a pool.
Okay. You may do that. You get 3 points. You do this IED bomb.
I will spend my other point of demolitions to give a pool of 4,
4.
basically, and I shall roll.
So that is an 8. Let me.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. Do me a favor, and this is a sort of a fate test for me here. Roll me 2d20. There's a little button for it up top. Okay.
The top and the near the bottom there.
So I think when this goes up, it is just amazingly loud. The fan disintegrates, the ground shakes. All of you are a little bit shaken by how loud your ears are ringing. Yours are not, Marcus, but our ears are ringing from the sound of this, and just blows out a massive section of the wall there, and yeah, you've got a breach. You've got a big breach, and I assume that you go charging in. Who is going in first? Who is taking point?
I mean, Susan has the machine gun. Or the,
Absolutely. I think the person with the lowest ability should take point, and you will go charging in. Let's take our second break. Let's take 5, and we're going to come back with the entry.
Can we just say that it was like we hadn't planned for Susan to be the one to go in first, but Susan goes in first.
No.
Yeah.
You two blow it. There's all this dust, and the next thing there's Susan charging through the breach. Hoorah!
All right, we'll come back to this. smoke, noise, flashing, that sort of the emergency lights are on. You're in some kind of corridor. You hear alarms, and the smell is just, it smells like just the musk of human beings just kind of wafts out here as you go in. Susan, it looks like that you've got up ahead, like a cross corridor. It looks like there's a secure door off to one side. The hallway goes on in more. Maybe there's an administrative office. You're not sure. What do you want to do?
I check the secure door.
You'll take a quick look in, and you will see a room, big, long room. And you can see that there are like maybe 6 foot long, maybe 2 foot tall, 3 feet wide, wire metal cages that are stacked on top of one another. There's maybe, you would guess, 70, 80 in there. With like, you could just as a glance, you kind of see little secure locks on each of them, and you can see that there are people in them. What are you doing?
Do they seem to have noticed me?
They're pushing against these because they're in these cages in this darkened room, and the lights are flashing, and they're locked into these wire cages. They don't. I mean, you're just looking at a door. They don't see you. You can just walk past them, not notice them.
I walk past.
Okay. Can I please have you make a stability test for me?
That is a problem, as we all know. Let's roll. I mean, I do have 2 stability.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can spend your bonds to reduce the stability on abandoning these people.
I will spend 2 from my parents.
Okay.
And let's see. And I roll, and I spent 2.
So it was a 4 down to a 2.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
That is a 5.
Okay. So you spent from your parents, and did you spend any on the roll?
No.
Okay. So you go past, and Susan, you see Susan look in this room and charges forward. Are you following behind, Agent Oliver? I assume you're second up.
Dean follows behind.
Okay.
Who's with me on the close-up?
I'll be last.
Okay, because
All right.
Gene will stop at that door.
Okay. Then you will look in, you get at a glance, you see the same scene that Susan saw and ran past.
Are those people like moving, freaking out, or?
Oh yeah. They're like 70, 80 people in these cages in there.
I'd like to make my stability test now, I think.
Okay. The only stability test you need to make is if you leave them.
We've got to let them. We've got to free them.
Yeah,
Gene.
well, that's Gene is gonna. Is this door locked?
It is a secure door, yeah.
Do I see a way to open it?
We could try. Do you have lock picking skills or anything like that, or
Shoot
mechanics?
the fucking lock.
If I shot it,
You could try.
I have nothing in mechanics.
I
Jim's got
find
nothing in
myself with
mechanics.
2 mechanics.
I'm gonna look and I'm gonna go, Doctor.
I'm a doctor, damn it. That is 3
It's a
and
door,
2
not a
is
human body.
it's
You
5.
pop this door open, and just that smell roils off here of people. You can see they all look, non-Caucasian, boxed up in these cages here in stacks, all through here, and
As the these, as Jim and Marcus have clearly like taken it up, I do take a second and I see Susan disappearing off, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I think like knowing that the others are working on it, I am going to be jogging down the corridor after Susan, like, kind of torn between the two things, but following our footsteps.
Okay. Jim, you get in here. You hear a mix of Spanish, and other languages, people crying out. You can see that they've been trapped in here for some time. It's a combination of filth and bed sores and the rubbing against the metal of the cages in here.
This makes my blood boil. This is Kresh, he's fucked with people here. We need to get him out.
Yeah.
Doctor.
And look around for anything that will break the locks and lever these cages open.
Yeah, I'm going to assume you would have brought like basic tools with you because you were doing a breach. So like things to clip locks and stuff. So the two of you want to get started on that?
Absolutely.
Start bolt cropping.
Okay.
And run a system whereby Jim opens some cages. I begin to help people get out. I am curious about what else, are they connected to anything? Are they, what's?
No. As you can see that they have the equivalent of like a hamster water thing on the outside and a little space for them to put basic food pellets in.
And just help people out.
Okay.
And
you two are working hard to getting them out. They're exhausted. They're panicked. They're freaked out. And they the others they take them to the place. They take them to the place. The flesh.
Oh, the holy flesh. We've been here before. Okay. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing.
You and Jim, it's going to take you a bit to do this because you've got to run along there, start clipping. You'd like to hand this off to other people, but they don't have the strength.
I was going to, yeah. If there's anyone who looks like they could help with any of this, we'll make use of them. But from what you're saying, look, there are.
You are saving people's lives and getting them out of here, and sending them back out to run out of here.
Get out. Yeah.
Susan, making your way along the hallway here.
There was talk of an administrative room.
Yeah, there looks like there's looks like the corridor goes on to the main part of the place, and it looks like there might be an administration room off that way.
Yeah, I checked the administration room. I'm looking for any kind of map, like a floor plan, something, or people that I can threaten.
Okay, let me see here. So you will come into a room, and the thing that strikes you is there are places where there ought to be like setups for electronics and monitors and things like that. There's none of that here. It's primitive. There are papers laid out that a lot of them are handwritten. There are marks on the walls.
What kind of marks?
Sigils, occult markings, all of that through here. But you don't see any people, and you don't see like any like mechanical bits here.
Glancing at the papers, there's nothing about the place itself. There's no map or drawing.
Let me think here. It more seems like an inventory of people and numbers and volumes of something and like stages of processing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, turn around. Probably bump into Jean.
You come up right behind Susan. Susan's tearing through the papers and the desks in here, and kind of turns around to go back the other way. What do you do, Jean?
I'm gonna start securing this place as much as possible. Like,
Okay.
look, Susan seems to be on a mission, like looking for God knows what, like answers, the truth, whatever, right? Jean's gonna like go back to training and be like clear, you know, like, and she's probably gonna do the whole like drilled kind of motions.
Okay. You rush back down and head into the main part of the facility, Susan?
Yes.
Kind of leave Jean behind. She's checking. You're trying to keep up with her. Susan isn't checking for clearing. She isn't watching for anything. She's just going.
I'm like, and I yell after her, you know, like, watch those fucking corners, Rajavi, like, you know, and like, luckily there's no one there or whatever, but yeah.
Susan, you will kick open the door, and this wave of heat and warmth immediately rolls into you. And you will see it is a room, and you can see that there are more of those cages suspended all around from the ceiling here in sections. And there are troughs down below that are collecting this rain of golden liquid. You see these people that are kind of still moving, but they have all over them eyes, mouths, ears,
Shit.
orifices all over, and all of them are weeping out this liquid. And you can see a figure in towards the center, taller than any you've seen, maybe 7, 8 feet tall, kind of pale, albino. You can see that he is by what appears to be a great big vat of flesh, and he looks at you as you enter. Can I please have you make a 6-point stability test?
6-point stability test coming up.
Okay.
I just wanted to say I shoot the MF, but doesn't look like that.
I am curious when fight or flee kicks in here.
Yeah, so I do have stability. I have 2 stability.
Okay.
Can I like break all my bonds? The 2.
You can burn all your bonds with all your human contacts to reduce the difficulty of this if you wish.
I wish so, which is the last thing that connects me with normal life, my parents and my former colleagues.
Okay. Difficulty is a 4 now.
And can I spend the last 2 stability that I have and
Yeah.
reduce it to by
You'll go to
0?
stability 0. You will be broken at that point. My suggestion to be is if you're going to gamble, just spend 1
Okay, and keep
hope
1.
you roll well.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Stability 1. So I have a +3,
Okay.
which, you know, could work.
Just don't roll a 1.
Oof,
That's
6.
3. So you are at 1 stability as you see this scene of horrors in here. Jean, you will follow up behind her.
Yeah, well, I think as Susan takes it all in, that's when Jean steps up behind her shoulder. Like,
Would you please make a 6-point stability test?
yes, I'd love to do that. I'd like to do similar, so I can lower the difficulty of a stability by burning my bonds. Yeah.
Yes.
I will burn. I burn Greg Jefferson down to a 2.
Okay.
And I will burn Jim down to a 1.
Okay.
So that'll be a 4 right now.
Yep.
For it. And I am going to spend 2 points of stability.
Okay.
On this.
Good. Yeah, if you'd rolled a 1, it would have been very bad.
Yeah, I still think I stagger, you know, like with the horror of it, like the.
But Susan will unload the clip into the alien.
Okay, let's have you make a shoot roll for me here.
How good am I at shooting, actually? Firearm 7, that's not too bad.
Yeah, so what do you want to spend on this?
I want to spend 3.
Okay, let's have you roll.
Roll coming up. That is a 4.
That is a 4. I think you fire wildly in here. Bullets go flying every which way, and this thing, it's there, and then it's there, and then it's there, and it's like frame shift. And it's kind of blurry, and you swear that you put at least a couple rounds where it was, and it's up close by. Gene, what do you do?
Me, not Rajavi. Okay. I think I scream and try to hit it with the taser.
Okay, let's have you make that roll.
Like, I think I fumble like I scream and fumble for the thing in my belt, and so I will spend all points in melee.
Okay.
And a 6.
So you will tag it. Go ahead and roll me a d6.
That's 5.
And kind of tag it, and it'll actually pull back from that. And it says, "We made you a god. We made you a god. You don't have to be doing this. You should just join us. We built you a new god to worship." I'm going to cut back to Marcus and Jim. You've got sort of the last of these people that you are moving out. But I think as you're kind of getting them out to that breach point, you can see that there are some security people coming around the back part of the prison.
Do we hear the firing from where Susan and Jean went?
Yeah. So you've got these people you've sent out. The security guards are coming that way. You see they've got guns. You'll hear it firing from the other direction from Susan and Jean.
In or out, Marcus? In or out? I'm going in.
I've got this. Go and help the others.
Sure.
So
what do you want to try and do here, Marcus?
I'm going to start shooting at the security guards from the rubble of the from behind cover at the rubble of the breach.
Is your intent to do suppressive fire? Is that what you're trying to do, or are you really trying to take him out?
I think, given what I've seen, I think they deserve to be taken out.
Okay, then let's have you make that shooting roll here.
Firearms 4. I'm going to spend 2. That is 4 plus 2 is 6.
6. So roll me a d6.
That is a 6.
Oh yeah. So that first shot, like you catch this first guy, and he will drop. The other guy will drop to a knee and fire at you. So let's do that. I'll roll and add. We'll spend that much. So that is an 8. So what's your athletics?
8.
Okay, so you have a higher hit threshold. So 4 plus a d6.
Any cover?
I think I will take a point off of damage here. You're only going to take 8.
Oh, that will put me out.
That puts you at 0?
That puts me at -4.
Okay. So when you get to -4 for your health here, let's go back to the health pool. You are still up. Oh yeah, you are much like Susan. You are going to be injured and shaken right now. But here's the notes on that. Bonds. So right now you are you can't spend from your pools, and you're a -1 on general abilities.
First aid?
Well, you'll be able to make a first aid roll here in a second. The difficulty will be increased. But we'll assume that this is not just like one shot. I mean, this is an exchange of gunfire is going back and forth here right now. Both of you now trying to get to a better position, get some cover for you as these people are running off desperately into the woods.
If nothing else, it draws the fire away from them.
Absolutely. Susan, this thing is just there.
I mean, it's closer now.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Susan will, she's on the brink of completely losing it. She will wildly fire at the creature, hitting or not hitting.
Yeah, let's have you make that shooting test.
And this time I spent the rest of what I have, which is 4, I think. Oh, I didn't reduce the 3 that I spent. Oh. So I now have 4. I'll reduce that as well. And let's go. That is an 8.
8. Roll me a d6.
6. That is a 5.
7. So yeah, you actually catch him with a couple of those bullets there. You think maybe the taser sort of threw him off from his response to it. What is your athletics?
My athletics is, give me a second, 2.
Okay. Then he is going to. So that will, I need you to make an athletics test, difficulty 6 right now.
Okay. I spent 2 athletics, I guess. Let's see. +2. And that is an 8.
That is an 8. So as he throws this mass of flesh right at your face, right at your mouth, you will pull to the side and not get it, like not catch it, not catch any of it in, not take any of it in. When it hits the wall, it sticks and moves.
Jesus.
Gene, what do you do?
I think that like Gene is kind of like hit him with that taser and then stumble back onto the gantry kind of thing that we're on. And as Susan hits him with it and he flings that, she's gonna just scream and unload the gun into him, I think.
Let's have you make that roll.
I will spend 4 points of firearms. I haven't shot anyone in the entirety of this investigation, have I? So there's no reason that my firearms would have gone down to, I think maybe I pressed a button while I was looking at it because I only had 3 points and I was like,
yeah,
but I've not shot anyone, so how? Yeah, okay. That's a 6.
Okay, roll me a d6.
It's only a 2.
2. So you just wing him there. Kind of turns to look at you. There's a moment there, you see his face and his teeth kind of shift. You see a second set of teeth come down behind. They click together while the first set of teeth are kind of hanging up there. And you can see that that's like he's stepping back. Like suddenly he's worried here. Jim, you come up. I would like you to make a stability test.
It was me think they're going to be, just point it round the corner and don't look. No, I'll make the stability test. Okay, so
difficulty 6.
I will spend my Dr. Marcus bond and one of the Gene bonds. So it's now difficulty 4, is it?
Yep.
And I will spend 3 from stability.
Okay, just don't roll a 1.
You always say that.
I do. There you go.
2.
So you spent your 3. So you don't get rattled. Do you want to light it up?
Fried chicken, motherfucker. Yes. And using my knowledge from the forces that you always short bursts at the base to let the heat rise, the sort of opposite of fire extinguisher work, I would like to create a pool from military science.
All right.
And I will spend my remaining 2 in firearms to give me +5 to the roll.
Okay.
Let's see where we go.
So
6.
that is a 6.
That's why I spent 5.
So I think you light him up, and then the flamethrower catches fire.
Ooh.
And you have to throw it. I need you to make an athletics test here.
Certainly.
And it does light him up, like the splash catches him. He staggers back, flames go everywhere, but then suddenly you twos will see this makeshift fucking amateur hour flamethrower just start.
You see the flame coming back towards.
Oh yeah.
I will spend 3. Let's see where we
Okay.
get. 5.
All right. You are going to take. Just 2 points of damage as you throw this flamethrower into the room. And I think narratively, this is going to hit. And there are chemicals and stuff. We've already established that some of the stuff is caustic stuff. And I think that will immediately light up Catch and Susan, Jean, I need you both to make athletic tests as this explosion of heat and flame starts billowing out to where you're at. Susan?
Let's see, I have nothing to spend, so just
roll.
And it is a 2.
2. So you are going to take 5 points of health.
Mm-hmm.
And Jean?
And 4. That's a 5.
So you will manage to get back away from this thing. And I assume that as this room goes up, you are running.
And this giant figure is like wreathed in flame.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like, doing the whole staggering.
It goes back,
like,
staggering back, and these writhing creatures in these cages. Were they human once? You don't know. You don't care anymore. They're not. The flesh starts going up. You can tell that it's only the super intense heat that is affecting it. Like once you get that sort of blast furnace-y heat in here, does it start to curl and burn? And the room just echoes, and the flames are not the right color. They're blue and green, and everything is going up. And you realize that this building is incomplete. It was not completed. And like the blocks start cracking from the heat and breaking. And you'll probably start hearing the roof begin to shake and start to give in.
And with all these screams of these creatures echoing as we, I think it's definitely a like Rajavi, like shaky cam, like ringing in her ears as Jean's like, come on.
I mean, my health is 0 as well.
Oh yeah. So she's at a right now a big
I'm willing
minus.
to carry her.
Okay, grab her up. I want to see if
Jean
Dr.
goes head with the
Evans
gun.
can secure the back area here.
So this is, we've got cut back to Evans, and of course there's a draft now, and we begin to see dust that was settling now begin to draw into the breach.
Mm-hmm.
As the doctor is hunkered down, just tying a tourniquet against a wound. Can I do that?
So it's 2 points of first aid to heal 1 point for you to do it on yourself.
I will burn all 8 to get back to 0. While and he's talking all the time. surely we can come to some agreement about this to buy time. Shall I spend that reassurance?
Now, I don't think
Negotiation?
reassurance is appropriate in this case.
Okay.
I
Um,
think this is going to be a contest of your shooting versus his shooting to try and to win this and get him out of position.
I would outdoor survival. I want to make a dash for cover.
Oh,
and
I like
play the
that. Yeah,
pool.
I like it. Spend that to give yourself a 3-point pool.
And I will spend both the remaining firearms to get +5.
Okay,
That is 10.
that is a 10. And I will roll. That is 8. So you just edge him out. I think it's that last thing when you get kind of into position and he's still firing where you were a second ago, and you'll catch him and drop him. You're hearing noise and calling and screaming from the other part of the thing, and then you see your companions come running out of the breach as you're
By
hearing
which
the
time
yep.
I have got into the driver's seat of the van.
No, the van blew up.
What do you mean van? There's no van.
There's no van.
Oh, we blew.
You blew it up. You guys are on foot right now.
Okay, I'd forgotten about that.
There are other vehicles here though, aren't there?
Yeah. I assume narratively that there is you have a choice of either going out and outdoor survivaling it out across, or running back into the mouth of the guards who come out of the front, try to get one of those vehicles.
I would love to, if there is anybody already in a vehicle, to just do the biggest, like, and not, like the stop, get out of the car, but this is more of a just like walk over and then just bang straight through the window and in.
Well, that'd be casual, but you've got gunfire on you because the guards are running out the parking lot. If you have to go on that side, there are people there.
We just have to run for it.
Let's go into the woods. There's hundreds of people in the woods. They're going to be rounding it up. We stand a lot better chance, Gene, in the woods. Let's regroup.
And everybody
it
knows
smart.
Marcus has got outdoor survival.
What do you
Out
think?
into
Do
the
you
woods,
kind of look at the edge of it? You like look at the people who are coming running, and they're saying to come with them.
Yeah, I guess out into the woods if there's a stream of guards coming out of the burning buildings.
What's the worst?
Putting your hands, your fate in the hands of Dr. Evans.
Yeah. I mean, if we come by any roads and I see a car, I'm definitely going to completely jack whoever that is.
Marcus Evans, how much outdoor survival do you have left?
None. I used it to take that guard down.
I think that
It's that way.
This is a painful day and a half of E4. The immigrants who were caught and shipped up here to be used as labor scatter in various different directions. Some of them stay with you, but it's a day and a half of avoiding being caught by cops on the road who are swooping around the area. You trying to get out of the range of this place, out of the Hochboca County, and eventually finding yourselves on the Appalachian Trail, and it's you four kind of exhausted, bloodied. A couple of these escapees, when you come on like a campsite of a like a roadside, they've got their camper van. They're fixing their breakfast. This is a day and a half later on the Appalachian Trail, and they look at you, and I imagine we see a badge flipped out, and that's the end of that particular operation. You will report in, you will brief, and you will get yourselves home, right?
Or what's left of us.
Yeah. So, Gene, you burned a little bit of your bonds there. what is that going to look like? Like,
Um,
how have you strained those things?
I think that it's largely a case of with Jefferson, it's that I am that whatever the fallout of this is comes back slightly to bite him, you know, like as my DG handler, as the sort of the strings he's had to pull to get things out of the way. Like it just sort of leads to him having to take a bit more of a distance than he did do before. And with Jim, I think with Jim, it's kind of like it just reminds me of being down there and the screams and the flesh, and it just sort of like having to think about it, you know.
Jim, did you burn any bonds there? You're muted.
Yep.
With Gene and one with Dr. Evans. I think with Gene, it will be the sort of reciprocal of Gene's one, really. That sort of, when I turned that corner and saw the flesh room sort of thing, that, you know, why didn't she warn me? Yeah, and just, I don't want to remember that sort of evil horror. And I think with Marcus, I think it's sort of the opposite, that, you know, the three of us did see something there and he didn't. You know, he's not in the we saw it crowd. You know, he's never going to be what us three were, what we saw. He's different.
Absolutely. Dr. Evans, how much health are you down?
I am currently on 0.
Yeah, within a day and a half, you're going to get that back.
Well, all of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
You heal up. Susan, what is it for you?
I think, again, if I step on your toes, just tell me. But
Yeah,
I think that there's the, you know, the friend was invited to the house, and you know, Susan has dressed up and sits there completely like stone-faced, and then at some stage, he's like, from her perspective, it's just the trumpet from you know, Peanuts, what he's saying, and then she will just pour whatever drink she has over his head, and then you know, when, I don't know, the parents will confront her and she will just say, "You don't have a daughter," and then just walk out.
I mean, Marcus will have made the same offer he made before, which, if somebody wants to talk about this stuff, you know, he has got psychotherapy to burn.
We will talk about that at the beginning of next session. We'll do our experience points. We'll go through all of the stuff. But in the meantime, you'll see I have a link there for you. That's your next case file. Case file, combust reflector. You're heading to Nevada.
Of course we are. That's where the head parasites live.
That's what we'll take up next session. Sound good? Let's do stars and wishes, if you don't mind a quick on that. Let's start with Dr. Evans.
Oh, stars, lots of stars. You know that I think that this is superb GMing. You took us from kind of quiet tension, and then Jim lit the fuse, and you let it burn. So that was superb. I loved the way that we segued from Kresh goes into the ground to Marcus having a moment, and then Kresh is behind him, all of that, though he doesn't remember that. I loved Susan going, you know, kind of full Rambo, which is so against type and against character, but, you know, really playing that stability loss, you know, the fraying edge. Gene cool Gene finally got the wobbles, which I thought was delightful. And you know, Paul, as it said in the chat, we've been laughing about that flamethrower for like a month and a half. And in the end, the flamethrower came through. So, you know, thank you for not giving up on the flamethrower.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how you were going to deal with the big situation, but that certainly gave you a Deus Ex flamethrower. So I appreciate that. Susan.
Yeah, probably my favorite session after the bomb disposal one. Yeah, I loved everything about it. Stars definitely for you for jamming. Also for the flamethrower, not for Paul.
Awesome. Gene.
Big stars for the flamethrower because we did get to burn it all down to the ground, which is exactly what you want to do in this entire situation from step one, even before you get to the supernatural stuff. And we did as close to that as possible. I also really enjoyed the brief strategizing in the sort of desperate situation after it had all gone like horribly wrong. You know, like we still have a job to do, but let's just do it with what we have in the back of this van, basically. And it went surprisingly well. Wishes as well?
Yeah.
I mean, the big wish is in Marcus's Evans' head, I think. What's going to happen with that? So yeah, I'm looking forward to that entirely.
Well, he certainly has the biggest brain on the team, so let's not worry about that.
Absolutely. And it's only gotten larger.
Mm. When he's walking around without a limp this time.
Yeah, no, I feel better than I felt in ages. You know, maybe I'm getting used to this.
Yeah, maybe he took a hit of that little smoke from the golden stuff. He seems fine, healthy, happy. Jim.
You know, yeah, great session. I did like the sort of the loss of Susan. The way you played that, I thought was really, really good. Sort of Susan's descent, I thought was really good. You know, the scene in the hospital with the doctor, and also Gene's sort of solo, you know, work in the drug house. I think all those things could have sort of people could have played against you, lol. They didn't. You know, it really worked really well. And I think for yourself, the early episodes were constrained, not in a bad way. They sort of, you know, it was constrained, the town, you know, we were really sort of hampered in what we could do in a good way. This felt so sort of open, you know, we could sort of pick on whatever we wanted to do. But I really like how you pushed us, you know, very subtly, like, don't go and blow up the mound. It all sort of worked out. And then it went to that. You know, it really was a good masterclass in GM, and very much enjoyed it, as I think everybody did. So yeah, really, really good, and again, good play from everybody. Works well as a team. It's good to see.
Yeah, it was nice to have a little more. Okay, we've got to kick ass now in a desperate situation when we're at the end of our tether, resource wise. So I thought that's always good. Thank you all so much. I will put the link for that document in the Slack. So we also have that there. And we'll do XP and personal stuff before we go to the mission next time. Yes.
I've just thought of a wish.
Okay.
I would quite like it if we hadn't quite seen the last of Rick Kresh.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I think that Rick has been the personification of evil that all of this is rolled around, and I think it would be a shame to not put him down.
I will keep that in mind. That sounds good. Thank you all very much. Pardon?
Feel free to put the video up.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Actually, everybody good with that? Okay. I'm going to stop the recording.